Wait, did I hear that right? Monsieur Nervalet.
That's right.
No, but why? Technically speaking, Kate...
Nervalet! Sedine! Hey there! What are you two talking about?
Traveler in Paimon, please help me talk our... This is completely unprecedented. How can we have the Udex acting like a private detective?
Thank you for your concern, but I currently have no such... Oh, apologies. I took your question in earnest.
So, what is it exactly? It sure sounds serious if it's...
A Melusine named Kiara received a threat letter.
And then?
That is all the information I have acquired.
Huh?
I have no idea why you're so... I've checked the schedule in advance, and it seems like there aren't any trials today. So, if you would...
Thank you for understanding. I will leave a note explaining my absence on my desk. She may have no interest in official affairs, but standard procedure dictates...
Yes, understood. I'll come back later and
Judging from Sedine's reaction, it must be pretty rare for you to investigate stuff.
I cannot tell you just yet, but it reminded me. There could be complicated conflicts of interest behind all this, so I...
Come on! Stop being so secretive!
It is not my intention to keep you in the dark, but I need some time to revisit those memories, and long story short, a little more than 400 years ago I became the Udex of Fontaine, and there were few people I could trust. But I had two subordinates who were exceptionally trustworthy and capable. Carol, a Melusine, and Vautrin.
They must have been amazing people to receive such high...
Indeed. Unfortunately, I wasn't able. The reforms damaged the interests of some, and the more conservative faction took advantage. The incident resulted in Carol taking her own life, and all Melusines used to live a secluded life away from human society. I granted their wishes when some of them, including Carol, many common folk believe that I share a special bond with the Melusines, and some of them, especially those who hold a grudge against me, exploit that belief. I have nothing against the opinions of others, but it has already happened once, and
even so, why do you have to be... There's the guards, the Maréchaussée Phantom, and the Special Security and...
Based on prior experience, there is a high chance that those who hold hostility towards me do not... The political system of Fontaine is relatively complex and involves... However, since I am technically an outsider in Fontaine...
Outsider? But aren't you the Chief Justice of Fontaine? Why would you...
I understand where you are coming from, but there is not necessarily a connection. You know very well about my true identity, and have even met others of my kind in other nations. Even though I was born with a human form, there is a fundamental difference. Taking on the role of Chief Justice does not make me a part of this community. In fact, the status I have lived in Fontaine for a long time, but I do not belong...
Yeah, we have nothing to do with all those organizations anyway. So let's team up and round up all the bad guys lurking in the...
That does not sound like a bad idea.
Oh, Paimon's starting to get a little...
I will write my note of absence right away. Let us go. We should visit Kiara first.
So Nervalet feels like he doesn't truly belong here in Fontaine, but Paimon feels like he has a kinda skewed perspective on a lot of things. Paimon's been thinking. You called yourself a fish out of water, right? But since you're the Hydro Dragon, would a dragon out of water suit you better?
Thank you for your suggestion. I will consider using the more accurate term in private occasions. Please allow me to rephrase. Has a dragon out of water
Ugh. That sounds kind of weird. Let's stick with the previous version instead.
I never thought I'd see him here.
The weather's amazing.
Kiara,
Monsieur Neuvillette! And you are? Oh, I remember. You're the trap.
Aw, she's adorable!
Thanks for the compliment. Is there
I heard from Sidine that you received a threatening
a threatening letter? Oh, right. The letter fell through the crack in my door as I was heading out this morning. But Sidine told me it was a threatening letter, and that I could be in danger.
Have you run into any suspicious-looking people?
Suspicious-looking people? What counts as suspicious? Ah!
Did you think of something?
Nope. I don't remember meeting anyone.
Do you still have the letter with you? I want you to show me what it says.
Oh, let's see. Found it.
Now then, get lost if you don't leave the Maréchaussée Phantom. A simple threat. Neither the handwriting nor the content itself reveals it. We can't rule out that possibility. Since you can't think of anyone suspicious, I will be heading back to the... Kiara, you should come with us. It's safer if...
Sure! Wait, no. I still have a case to work on.
But you are being watched right now. Going off on your...
And that's where we come in to help. We'll stay with Kiara and make sure she's with us around anyone scheming to hurt Kiara.
Thank you, Traveler. Big Sis Paimon.
All right. Let us go our separate ways for now. Please...
We'll take her to a lost place right away. See you. So, Kiara, how old are you?
Let me think. 1, 2, 10? I can't remember. But I remember coming to the Court of Fontaine with Carol and Neuvillette. That must have been a long time ago.
Carol? Didn't Neuvillette mention her just now? That was more than 400 years ago. Why would Paimon be a big sister to you?
My memory isn't that good. But Carol told me I could address others based on how I feel about them. Paimon feels a lot more grown up than me, so you're a big sis.
Huh. Paimon sees. Hey, Traveler, did you hear that? Strange. Paimon felt...
Olaf!
Kiara, you're here. Huh? Wait, aren't these two...
Oh, they're the Traveler and Big Sis Paimon.
I thought so. What brings you here? All right. Guess I shouldn't have asked.
May I begin inspecting the stores?
Of course.
No hazards detected. You've cleared the inspection.
That was quick. What were you inspecting?
I took a look around the shop. Neuvillette says that Osmelazines have special eyes that can see things people can't. Things like bloodstains. No matter how hard you try to clean them up, We Melazines can see the residual stains.
All right. Now that you're done hear me out. I'm planning to release an outfit for children next month, and wanted...
Of course! Is there
Please wait a moment while I take your measurements. The sample should be a
Seems like they get along really well. Huh? What are you looking at? Is there really someone watching us? Shh! Let's sneak up.
strange? Why is it...
Gotcha! Ah! Charlotte, what are you doing? Oh, wait, don't tell Paimon you're the one who sent Kiara that threatening letter.
Threat letter? What threat letter? This is starting to feel like an interrogation. Okay, I'll be straight with you. I don't know the slightest...
You want to interview him?
That's right. I'm not the only one, you know. Interview, but it's not an easy task to accomplish. The Palais Mermonia rarely accepts appointment requests from us, so imagine how surprised I was seeing him out on the streets today. It seemed like you were investigating something too. Of course, I'll make sure to turn in my manuscript to him for review. I have my principles, and I'd never publish an article without the consent of all parties involved.
Yeah, we're doing a secret investigation that can't be made
I see. Well, if you say so, I guess I'll put this matter aside for now. In exchange, could you tell me what the threat letter is about?
All right.
What? Someone's targeting a cute little...
Shh, not so loud.
It just so happens that I did an interview with Kiara. Last month, in fact. It was well received by our... I'll ask my colleagues about it. Who knows? We might find something. And don't... But I gotta warn you, even if I keep my lips sealed, others will know eventually.
Why?
People care a great deal about Monsieur Neuvrelet's each and every move. Some may have already realized that something was... Anyway, I'll get going now. Watch yourself.
Well, that was a nice chat.
What do you think? The design looks pretty good, huh?
I think it's great!
Huh. It's very...
Clorinde, what are you doing here? It seems that you just showed up out of...
As I passed by the Palais Mermonia, I heard that Neuvrelet was investigating a... Technically speaking, he and I are under an employer-employee relationship. It didn't feel right. I happened to have some time at the moment, and came to take a look.
Oh, Neuvrelet sure is lucky.
Leave this to me. You should go meet up with Neuvrelet.
Okay then, we'll leave Kiara in your hands.
Oh, you're back. Is everything all right?
We ran into Clorinde. She offered to help.
That is good to hear. I trust her abilities.
We thought so too. Well, did you find any leads?
I've been looking over the case records, specifically inspection reports submitted by Kiara and major cases. I've come up with two plans. On one hand, I could start with Kiara and track down the group behind all this. On the other, I could also analyze the conflicting interests of these major...
They both sound like pretty solid plans, but can you really
Don't worry. I'm a fast reader when it comes to official documents.
We'll help you read through them. We have nothing else to do.
Thank you. I will continue looking through the ones piled up on the desk, but feel free to browse through anything. Have you made any progress?
We skimmed through some of them, but there wasn't anything you... Oh, there's so many documents lying around. Just how many...
I would love to answer that question, but the truth is I've never made... If memory serves me right, there should be at least 100,000...
Whoa, that's a lot.
That might be how it seems from another's perspective, but trials and official duties are, to me, simply routine. There are many documents here. Take a break if you are...
You read Paimon's mind.
All right. Let us take a break then.
Even though resting is a part of... All the silence is making Paimon feel really up...
Please pardon my lack of consideration. People rarely come to the Palais Mammonia for matter... Would you like to have some drinks, perhaps? You must be thirsty after all.
Ooh, drinks! Thank you! Paimon wonders what Novelette likes to drink. Oh, he seems like the type of person who'd own an entire winery. You know, like D-Luke. What's inside these glasses? It looks just like water.
An astute observation. It is indeed water.
So it's just plain old...
What did you think it was?
Since you're the Chief Justice and all, Paimon thought you'd...
This water is indeed very special. It would not be an overstatement.
Huh?
I believe you've already tried Fonta. In fact, there are many other drink factories in Fontaine, including those that specialize. Said water is sourced from all across Tevat, including Mondstadt's Cider Lake, Liyue's Chintsa Village. Here is one of their latest products, water from Sumeru's Apam Woods. If I were to comment on their mouthfeel, the waters of Cider Lake warm the heart. The waters of Chintsa Village have a poignant, distinct differences exist between the waters of each area. You will appreciate...
Really? Let Paimon try!
What do you think?
Nope. Paimon couldn't...
How regrettable. It seems like you still have a long...
Hey, this doesn't have to do with refining our taste. Paimon's pretty sure most ordinary people can't tell the... Oh, could it be because you're the Hydro Dragon? We are allowed to bring that up, right? Since no one else is around? Oh, Paimon's been wanting to ask this for ages. If you're the Hydro... Sorry. Paimon was just curious. You don't have to...
There's nothing to hide. I was simply organizing my thoughts. I accepted this position because I wanted to seek out answers.
Questions? Are there really things you can't figure out?
Many, in fact. But the one question, in essence, I neither know why I was born in this form, nor do I understand where I lost many memories from the moment I was born. The primordial sea, for example. I can only vaguely recall its connection to me, but I am unaware of what that connection... Perhaps the elemental dragons of other nations may have some form of an answer. However, they are scattered across all of Tevat, abruptly visiting...
True. Some of them have very...
I have been holding on to these unanswered questions for a long time. But there is one thing I've discovered along the way. My emotions easily resonate with those of others. My guess would be that there are at least some similarities between humans and myself.
Have you made any progress then?
Perhaps, but I find such progress difficult to describe. That's why I'm quite thankful for this chat. Such opportunities are rare.
Are we gonna continue reading these documents?
I wasn't able to find any leads even after browsing through most of the documents. But while we were on the top...
Water? Do you mean...
That's right. The Fountain of Lucine is where all of Fontaine's waters converge. It is the vessel... If there really were an organization attempting to use Melusines against me, perhaps we'll be able to find some new leads by sensing the hydro...
Huh. Why didn't Paimon...
Perhaps we should go. There shouldn't be too many people near the
Monsieur Neuvillette?
I probably shouldn't disturb them. I wonder what's going on.
Looks like we got lucky today. There's hardly anyone around.
What you... Oh, Traveler, can you still hear the voices from the fountain?
Perhaps leave the investigation to me. I need...
A safe distance? Whoa, it's glowing! Thank you for bringing us here, Monsieur Neuvillette. The court of Fontaine is truly incredible. There's...
I understand your excitement. But there's no need to thank me. Although I have responded to your wishes, it was not without personal interest. Melusine's special sight.
I know, but I'm really glad. Not only can I repay you for your kindness,
But a meaningful life also comes.
It's definitely the safest to just stay in the village. In truth, I've never really understood the purpose of my existence. For almost 20 years, we've stayed in our village without finding any answers.
I understand your confusion. In fact, I feel the same way. I too came here for an answer to my questions.
Really? Could you tell us what we should do to... The truth is, many people threw rocks at us today and told us...
Logically speaking, both time and effort are essential when different species attempt to peacefully different identities and ways of thinking all contribute to strengthening the barrier between... There aren't many suggestions I can share, because just like you, I haven't fully integrated into this society.
Oh, I see. Let's all do our best. I'm confident that we'll find the meaning of our existence one day.
I believe in you, but you shouldn't lose sight of the difficulties ahead. If you run...
Huh? Is he the person I met in the Palais Marmonia?
Yes? Do you have any concerns?
That stone-faced human. He didn't even bother to look at me.
He is an earnest man. There will...
Hello. Can I help with anything?
Thanks, but no need.
Oh. Hello. I'm Carol.
Get away from here! I'm calling the guards.
Please, calm down.
Hard to say.
Yeah, we should probably stay away from these monsters. Haven't you?
Why should we trust this species from who knows where anyway? I can't believe Nervy...
Exactly. That so-called Chief Justice even granted them official positions. Not only that, but they're not—
Go away! Quit acting innocent!
I'm not leaving. I won't let you say bad stuff about him. We joined the Mari Chaussee Phantom and solved lots and lots of cases.
Solving cases? With Nervilet in cahoots with you? You could have fabricated... So tell me, how can you guarantee that you Melazines aren't involved in anything?
Didn't I tell you before? Don't go advertising if you're not a good talker.
Vautrin?
Aside from spreading unjustified rumors, if you continue insulting members of the Mare Chaussee Phantom, there have indeed been an increase in cases recently, perhaps due to the shifting currents of conspiracy.
Even the captain of the security patrol is on their side. Nervilet's newly reformed police force is already corrupt to the core.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
You heard that?
Yeah. I don't understand. Why won't it...
There have been rumors saying that you were born from calamity, and that you inherently bring danger. There are countless negative rumors about you floating around in Fontaine. It's near impossible for you to become a part of this society.
Monsieur Nervalet said that we needed to put both time and effort in. I don't know how long it'll... I still want to try a little harder. Okay, I won't be taking any more of your time. I painted a lot of...
Give them to me.
You're not...
We'll hand them out together. The faster we get this done, the sooner...
Monsieur Neuvillette, what's this?
Medals of Peace, awarded to you. Thank you for your continued dedication in the past 5 years. You've taken...
I think I'll pass.
Hey, don't say that. We wouldn't have made it this far. It won't be long before Melazines begin living peacefully with the humans.
Don't keep your hopes up. We've barely scratched the surface. There's still a long...
You blockhead! Don't ruin the mood.
Vautrin brings up a good point. The trust humans have placed in you is still very... Please be on your guard for the next...
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it.
Medal of Peace? Peace isn't going to give us back what's rightfully...
Are you sure we should do this? We're no match for Neuvillette, even with all our powers combined. What if...
Nah, not gonna happen. As long as he remains in his position, there's no chance he'd take us out. There are rules even he must comply with in the political sphere. Unless he wants to become an enemy of Fontaine. So quit worrying and just go ahead with it. I've already planned out the murder. Once we lay the blame on the Melazines as the person who brought them to the court of Fontaine, Neuvillette will...
I guess you're right. Ugh. If he just left things the way they were, it never would have come to...
Turn the murderer in!
Melazines can't be trusted! That goes for Neuvillette, too!
Peaceful coexistence? What a joke. Get out of the court of Fontaine and don't ever come back!
The results of the investigation are in, Captain.
Go on.
There is no direct evidence, but reasonable inference indicates that the ones controlling the situation are supporters of... They tricked Miss Carroll into going to the crime scene and pressed charges against her. After that, they incited panic among the people in order to make Monsieur... The guards were stopped by the enraged mob and couldn't intervene in time. Miss Carroll chose to...
And she called me a blockhead. A little investigation would have cleared things up. Why didn't she wait until we'd established the truth?
The situation had rapidly escalated to a physical altercation between infuriated...
That is indeed something.
Captain Vautrin, should I present these results to Monsieur Neuvillette right away?
There's no need. Notify the guards to restrict public access.
Restrict access to...
There's something I've never told Carol. I had a little sister named Ilaria who passed away when I was very young. She's just like Carol in every possible way. Innocent, kind, always believing the best of people. From the moment I met Carol, I knew that she'd be easily manipulated by others. I kept a cold demeanor and tried lecturing her into giving...
Looks like she was unfazed by that.
Yes. In fact, some of her spirit must have rubbed off on me instead. I should have known. Those cowards don't have the guts to confront Neuvillette. They even avoided causing trouble for me. Can you understand how I feel? Right now, there's only one thought on my mind.
I understand, but I'm certain Monsieur Neuvillette wouldn't accept...
That's exactly why we need to keep this a secret. Give me the list of suspects. I will take responsibility for everything.
Did you know? They're hearing a major case today, and the criminal is apparently, he resorted to personal measures to seek revenge for Carol and settled the—
I'm thinking we should try our best to bail him out when the—
Bail him out?
Shh, keep it down! Haven't you realized? Both Vautrin and Carol are Nervilette's most trusted subordinates. After everything that happened to Carol, besides, now that the old regime has been uprooted, Nervilette's status is secure as can be. As long as we redirect public opinion, Nervilette will be able to give Vautrin a reprieve. The benefits are endless.
Vautrin sought vengeance for his friend for a valid cause. This represents— Please, think about it. If the same thing had happened to you, wouldn't—
Yeah, that's right!
This whole thing started because of those despicable cowards who levied false accusations against Carol. How could Vautrin be declared guilty for seeking—
Monsieur Neuvillette.
Mr. Vautrin is innocent!
He's innocent!
Order! I acknowledge your arguments. Vautrin, your revenge could— I understand your decision, which is why I cannot help but feel personal justice does not equate to justice as defined by the law. To execute your plan for revenge, you abused your authority and conducted Therefore, you will be declared—
What?
That can't be! Monsieur Nervilette, please give this a little more thought. He has—
Vautrin, my friend.
Neuvillette, what have I done to deserve this? I've closely followed every one of your orders. Can't you see? Is this what justice means to you?
Order. Since there have been no further objections, the Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding— According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Anal—
Goodbye, Monsieur Neuvillette.
This all happened because of Carol's naive ideas.
How can different species peacefully coexist anyway?
Are you not feeling well?
Apologies, it seems like my memories got the better of me. I tried my best to suppress the power of Hydro within myself, but it seems due to my negligence. The overflow of emotions and memories must have affected you.
Wow. The Hydro Dragon is more powerful. Anyways, the last time we came here, the Traveler only heard voices from the Fountain of Lucine.
It is as you said. This might be because it is not only the fountain. I can sense emotions from all waters in Fontaine. Rivers, lakes, and even the rain.
That sounds awesome!
But I rarely ever do anything like this. Emotions carried by water are always chaotic and disconnected. As an outsider, which ones? It's fine. I prefer not to speak of those memories. It was a coincidence, but perhaps it is a good thing that you saw everything in that form. You should now understand why I believe there to be a conspiracy behind all this. These two cases are much too similar. I felt—
Paimon's starting to lose track of— Don't leave Paimon out of the conversation!
Then let us get back to the point. While I was investigating the fountain, I discovered something strange. I did not sense too much hatred towards me within its accumulate. I don't know what caused this to happen, but it seems like there won't be a However, I did find some resentment directed towards Chiara.
Oh! Didn't we read about that in one of the documents?
You've read about it? In that case,
Huh? What are you doing here? I was just about to look—
Navia! Nice to see you again! Is there something we can—
I've heard some things, but I'm not Rumors are abroad that someone's scheming against Melusines, and that you're— So I told the Spina di Rosula to keep an eye out for leads. We've had unfamiliar faces—
Thank you. Where did you hear about all this?
The Chief Justice out on investigation, accompanied by the Traveler from afar. No matter you talked to Kiara, but didn't ask her to keep things secret. People curious to know.
So that's what Charlotte meant.
Indeed. I did not expect that this could be kept hidden for too long.
You know, it could be because... Anyway, any progress with the
The suspects who threatened Kiara might have to do with a certain smuggling case. But it is... We are planning to return to the Palais Marmonia to revisit...
All right, then I'll round up the Spina di Rosula and follow up on their Wait for my word. Ta-ta!
Neverlet, do you think there'll be any problem?
I have already considered that possibility, and I do not think that there will be any. What is more important is how the case is perceived by the public. 400... I hope the same won't happen again. Let us head back to the Palais.
Strange. What are these people doing out on the... Did something happen? Let's take a look around.
Have you heard? Someone's plotting against a Melazine. This is 100% the truth. Even the Chief Justice is investigating.
What? That's it! Who's been threatening Mel?
Our enemies are lurking in the shadows and won't easily reveal themselves. But no amount of hiding will keep us from finding them.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. The guards have already begun to take action. Think about how much we owe them. Now that they're in danger...
Everyone, please stay alert to your surroundings from now on. If you see any...
It feels like you've been following me this whole time. Did something...
We were informed that.
Nope. We just finished our shifts and happened...
Have you had dinner yet? Why don't we check out the new items at the dessert shop together?
This isn't a good time to be out and about.
Come on, don't act tough. I bet you...
All right.
You shouldn't ever skip meals. Especially if you have another shift.
I heard even Nervulet's keeping an eye on the situation. This is the perfect chance to get promoted. We gotta...
Seriously? Were you planning to shirk your duties if Nervulet wasn't...
Relax, I was just playing. We've worked together for years now. If something happened to them...
That's more like it. We should stand guard until the criminal has been caught.
Come and fight me instead, you cowards!
Have you heard? Even the Special Patrol came to help.
Shh! Look! Isn't that Nervulet? I think it...
Looks like there's nothing to worry about.
This is truly wonderful.
So, wanna go over and say...
No, I should stay where I am. My appearance could give rise to unnecessary... Let us stick to our plan and return to the Palais Marmonia. The smuggling case was solved by the joint forces of the Guard. The list of involved suspects should be...
What does it say?
The principal offenders Domenico, Inica, Yuna, and others have been caught. Those with close connections or mutual interests with the offenders but who did not participate. Among them, surveillance of Essin has ceased on account of his good behavior.
So many names. Is the one who sent that...
Yes, there is something suspicious about Essin. It seems like he's closely related to the core members of the smuggling case. And he moved...
Monsieur Nervulet, someone claiming to be from the Spina di Rosula, he said, and I quote,
Huh? How did Navia find them so quickly? We've only...
I too am perplexed. The cafe isn't too far.
Whoa. Check out all these people. Hey there, are you not—
These are the people who have had recent dealings at the Marechaussee Phantom. They're usually hidden in the Fleuve Cendre, but
Invite them over.
Exactly. Now, I heard there's great coffee here, and so I asked them.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to be guests of the Spina.
I've wanted to have a meetup like this for ages.
But... Oh well. What?
Yes, that...
Your Essa?
Yes, monsieur.
Did you write that threatening letter to Chiara?
I did, but I was just following
Orders from whom?
Domenico. He was my boss. I couldn't disobey his orders.
Domenico. Where is he now?
The fortress of Meropide.
Well, I'm afraid even the Spina. Looks like you'll have to make the trip yourselves. This was as much as I—
You've done more than enough. I am extremely grateful.
Leave the formalities for later. You should find Domenico first. If he really is the one setting up the conspiracy, it'd be best—
All right then, let's head to the fortress right now.
It's Monsieur Nervalet.
Welcome to the Fortress of Meropide, dear esteemed guests.
We're back! Oh, and a greeting from none other than the Duke himself!
This isn't anything new. I figured you had important matters to discuss when the two of you— Let's assume we've gone through the pleasantries and cut right to the chase. I do remember a thing or two about Domenico. He once attempted to round—
Who does this guy think he is?
He once attempted to, I said, meaning that it was over before it even started. To be honest, Domenico doesn't seem like much of a conspirator.
He's got the same concerns we do.
I am concerned about this incident because something similar has occurred.
That's an easy one. Let me think. I think he—
Did I hear someone say Melusine? What happened?
Siegeween! Yeah, and we're investigating. The person who threatened her seems to be imprisoned here.
Really? Is Chiara good?
There's no need to worry. Clarande is protecting her.
Well, that's great. But if the criminal's still... Is there any...
Ah, head nurse. Do you require me to personally deal with the criminal?
Wriothesley.
Okay, I get it. I'll bring Domenico to you.
Think of it as more of a humble request. I'm here on my... Thanks for the trouble. Consider me in your debt.
Whoa! If Paimon were the Duke, Paimon would...
Well, were I still a criminal, I'd probably ask for a lighter sentence. But enough jokes. I'll look for Domenico and bring him. Make yourselves at home. Our dear head nurse has mentioned you quite a few times.
Please come with me to the infirmary. And watch...
Now that I think about it, I can leave this place soon. Huh?
Please rest here for a moment. Oh, and would anyone like anything to drink?
not that thirsty, but thanks any—
Thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated, which means you have to drink up even before that. I'll bring you some tea. I'm sure you'll have a lot to talk about.
Typical Sijun. Concerned about— why aren't you two saying anything?
You noticed them too. The badges they wore on their chests looked quite familiar.
Familiar? But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about it.
That's not a bad idea.
Anything you need? Oh, this? Are you interested in joining the Mutual Aid Network?
The Mutual Aid Network? Do tell Paimon.
The Beret Society. Oh, you mean the group that was designed—
Okay then, what does your network usually do?
We have a very long history, going back as far as 400 years ago. We have never had many members throughout our history, nor do we have much of a reputation. Helping each other is our purpose. At the same time,
Sounds like a pretty neat organization.
all we want is to defend ourselves. None of us have ever committed, but people won't give us a hard time.
Interested in joining the Mutual Aid Network? If you'd like to learn more, here's our— Our slogan may have evolved over the centuries, but our goal has remained— Here, this book is for you. You're welcome to come and—
You two look It's the symbol of the Mutual Aid Network designed by our first— From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those medals for The first president of our network was an amazing person. Powerful as he was, all of us have a lot of respect for him.
We should have gathered enough information.
Did you manage to gather any intel?
The people who wore the badges belong to an organization called the Mutual— According to them, the badge's design was inspired by the Medal of Peace. Have you seen any of those before?
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were awarded to Carol in Vautran. Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire. The only one that remained should belong to Vautran.
Oh, so the network was inspired by—
Monsieur Neuvillette, His Grace has requested your presence in his office. He's—
All right. Let us talk to him first.
Allow me to introduce this... Fine. Why don't you explain everything to him?
Neuvillette? What do you want? What are you gonna do?
Calm down. I merely want to ask, was it your idea to send that letter to a... Hassan has already confessed, so there really isn't any need to keep hiding.
That idiot! I can't believe I trusted him.
Let me ask this another way. It was your idea to send that...
Yes.
Who is pulling your string?
What? You're not trying to frame me for something I haven't done.
It's best if you realize the gravity of your situation. The Chief Justice of Fontaine has... I assume your previous attempt to incite unrest at the Fortress of Meripede has something to do with this as well.
I admit I acted on impulse. I'll tell you the truth.
I can do that.
You see, we're all reasonable people here.
I only intended to do some small business at first. Someone contacted me about delivering some goods and promised me a check. After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Marechaussee Phantom. They accused me of smuggling prohibited items, but I refused to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right? Well, I suspect that someone got me locked up here so they could get their hands on my goods.
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melazines? Over that?
My initial target was Neuvillette. Everyone in the Fortress of Meripede was declared guilty by him, after all. So they must more or less hold a grudge against him, right? If I could get them to strike back... But for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Melazines to salvage things. I recall that Chiara was the one who confiscated my goods for inspection. So I asked but the letter was in fact addressed to Essa. I requested that he write a threat letter to Chiara.
Am I to assume that the claims you've made are your own thoughts?
No.
Is it true that all members involved in the
Yes. And that's all I know.
Sigewinne, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later. So, Monsieur Neuvillette, you were concerned that there might be a shadowy faction looking to
Yes. I experienced a similar incident in the...
And how long ago was this incident?
More than 400 years.
You might be overthinking this. Time can change a lot of things. Everything's different now.
What do you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melazines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society. But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melazines, people wouldn't just...
That's right! We saw lots of people standing up for Melazines.
Monsieur Neuvillette, the Melazines are a species you introduced to Fontaine. When people refused to place their trust in Melazines, it was because they were still on the fence about you, their unfamiliar Chief Justice. For almost 500 years, you've conducted every trial with impartiality. You made the right judgment each time, regardless of whatever nonsense went on. People no longer have any reservations about you and even consider you a symbol of the law. Right now, your every decision will impact all of Fontaine. In other words, you've gradually transformed.
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to join forces with Domenico.
I am undeserving of such high compliments. From my perspective, it isn't anything special or worthy of praise. I'm simply It is unnecessary to hold me in such high regard. The complexity of human emotion...
There's no need to be so modest. The current state of affairs says that you're no longer that outsider you were before. Even if you wish to invest...
I must say that you've made a fair... Thank you for clearing my doubts. Now that the case has been...
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too? Why not stay for a cup of tea?
Thank you for the offer, but I know how this place works. While some are here to redeem themselves, there will inevitably be those who harbor resentment. The less time I spend here, the better. My presence could very well...
In that case, I'll have to insist. I still have 2 more things to say.
Please, go ahead.
The first is about the guard who helped Domenico send that letter.
I know of what you... The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Memornia's staff. However, as
Well, that makes things a lot easier. Hey now, don't let your imagination... Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with others. I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take...
I see no issues with that.
Great! That's one thing out of the way.
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity. Now, I've heard that you invest...
Yep. Neverlet thought their badges looked familiar.
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the fortress of Meripede. They were not great. I've looked into their founder, Vautrin, who once stood trial and was sentenced to imprison. According to existing documentation, Vautrin remained disciplined throughout his imprisonment. In other words, how he presented himself in prison was very different from his behavior in court.
What? During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated. He appeared to be full of resentment.
Perhaps he had been putting on an act.
An act?
Neuvillette and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Vautrin must have known that the Chief Justice would make an impartial judgment. Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer it would be to those present that you were, and to those who had been sitting on the fence, Vautrin's act. That's all from me. Does anyone else have anything to say?
I don't have anything to say. Well then, let us head back. No need to see it.
Please, take care.
That trial is something I rarely bring up in conversation, but I have always felt deep regret for what happened to both Carol and Vautrin. The words he spoke in court often replay in my mind, as if urging me on to do something.
But Risley said he never resented you, right? Isn't that a good thing?
I believe I now understand what he wanted to tell me. I feel conflicted about those words. How should I describe it? Surprise, relief, fear, and regret. But this blend of emotions has led me to finally understand some things. I would like to hear your thoughts, too. What do you think of me?
Paimon agrees with everything Risley said. As Chief Justice, every single one of your trials makes an impact on Fontaine. Hey,
What I really think is, every trial you've ever judged has left its impression on you. And that's what makes you who you are today.
As I said, I find it difficult to express my emotions because I cannot fully understand myself. But I trust your judgment. Since some time ago, I have begun to notice these changes were not due to any specific occurrence, but emerged. I will try to contemplate this further.
Oh, huh? It's raining! Oh no, Paimon forgot to bring an umbrella! Come on, let's hurry before it rains harder!
It's raining again? I've had enough of this weather.
There go my travel plans.
Did you read the news this morning? Quick, put away everything on the clothesline.
When is this rain going to stop?
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
They're planning to reanimate the monster. We have to report this to the Chief Justice.
The Fortress of Meripede. It's a good place for me.
He owes me so many answers.
Nervillette? You could say he's the real symbol of Fontaine's justice.
Watch him closely. He could be trouble.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
You will see much in the human world, from the delightful to the depressing. And one day, when you have dwelt among humanity long enough, you will be placed to bring judgment over all as a spokesperson for Fontaine's past. Good morning, Monsieur Neuvillette! The rainy season's almost over! The skies are supposed to clear in a few days!
I hope you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
Is the matter resolved?
Yep, we found the person who sent that threatening letter. Risley said he'd keep a close eye.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Sorry for dragging you all into this.
There's no need to apologize.
Yeah, you didn't drag us in. We got involved of our own accord.
By the way, where's Kiara?
At the Palais Marmonia. More than 50 people offered to protect her. I was worried that the excess of protection would make her feel uneasy. So I asked...
What a relief.
Well, now it looks like the dust has finally to celebrate this joyous occasion. Monsieur...
That's not how you celebrate!
I will consider it.
Really?
Of course. My schedule is full for the following weeks, but I shall come up with questions during the intervening days, and I will answer them to the best.
Yes! Thank you so...
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must head back to the Palais and issue a communique to publicize our... I hope it will assuage the concerns of all. Kiara? It's quite all right. I'm here to tell you that we have caught the sender of that threatening...
Thank you, Monsieur. And thank you too, Traveler and Big Sis Paimon. Everyone's been so nice.
Do you remember Domenico? He was the sender of that letter.
Let me think. I can't remember. By the way, I saw Carol in my dreams just now. In my dream, she looked really happy. She held my hand and said, Kiara, I can't remember what our dreams were anymore, and I don't know why.
I can sense your joy. It is indeed a delightful moment.
Monsieur Neuvillette. Oh, I almost forgot. Am I allowed? I promised to model for Alov.
Of course. Off you go.
See you next time, Monsieur, Traveler, and Big Sis Pie.
See you next time.